Welcome back to Demo Mondays. Demo Mondays is a video series where I talk to different Amazon seller software creators and I ask them to present their products just like this on the screen. And today my guest is PPC Ninja. And PPC Ninja is presented by the co-founder Ritu Java. Hello, Ritu.
Hi, Gustas. How are you?
I am good. Thank you. And please tell us, PPC Ninja, what is it and how does it help Amazon sellers?
Yeah, so PPC Ninja offers PPC tools and services for sellers and agencies. Our software uses the advertising API and we don't require MWS. Some of the problems that our software solves is, the need for sellers to analyze their data, which oftentimes is quite fragmented across, different reports or different views within Seller Central or Advertising Console. And we basically help consolidate all that information in one place. So it helps the need to analyze data. Secondly, it helps the need to optimize because it's not like a set it and forget it kind of system because, PPC needs constant tinkering. You need to be responsive to changes in performance. And so the second need, which is the need to optimize, is also fulfilled by our software. And the third need is to leverage and improve our PPC performance. So basically, it helps to identify opportunities for leveraging your PPC and also opportunities to cut wasted spend. So these are kind of the three main goals of our software.
All right. And I assume that your software is designed for any kind of Amazon sellers. Can you give us a light on this?
Yeah, so at the moment we have 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure sellers that are using our platform and are getting great results. And we also think that our software will be super interesting to someone who is pretty hands-on with their data. Someone who likes to play with numbers, slice and dice, create segments, aggregate them, see trends, find gems. So that's the kind of, person that would really benefit from our software. And it's also great for agencies and international sellers because we have a unified dashboard with a single login. So, its context is propagated. So it's easy just to drop down between your different clients or your different profiles and marketplaces. It's an easy switch.
Talking about marketplaces, which countries are you covering?
Yeah, so first of all, we cover all of Europe, which basically means the 5 markets, UK, France, Germany, Italy, Spain. We also cover North America, US, and Canada. And then we cover Japan, which is, I think we're probably one of the very few that cover Japan as well, because Japan is pretty complex with its, double byte characters and, support for that. So we support that geography as well.
Perfect. So let's take time and let's look how your software looks inside.
Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna give you 10 use cases of PPC Ninja so that, it gives you an easy way to see where our software can be super useful. So the first one is, it's like a consolidated dashboard view that gives you an account performance overview across multiple marketplaces. You can compare your alt SKU versus same SKU results. And you can also separate signal from noise with some sort of aggregations. And I'm just going to show you exactly what I mean. I'm just going to switch to the demo mode. So this is our dashboard. And as you can see, there is on the right, we have these KPI tiles, and we can plot these dynamically. You can see what different parameters, how they're performing. So let's say if I was to just measure spend versus ACoS, I can do that easily from here. I can set my custom date range. We go back 60 days before your day of sign up with us. And so that all that data is preserved. So at any point you want to go back in time, you can, and just replot this chart interactively. I mentioned all SKU data and same SKU data. So this is a really interesting metric that people might overlook. Amazon does provide information about, when there's an ad and let's say the same SKU that was advertised, if that was sold, it's the numbers are calculated under same SKU data. And all SKU data includes all of the other products that they purchased when that ad was shown. So how this can be useful is that if there's like too much of a discrepancy. So let's say I'm looking at this number, okay? So let's say if there's too much of a discrepancy between all SKU and same SKU, you can tell that, they saw one ad, but they actually ended up buying something else. So you can make adjustments to your, relevancy in terms of the keywords that you're targeting. You can also look at your listing copy to make sure it's super tight. And there's an, on the flip side, you can also do things like if these SKUs are very related, then actually it's welcome if they enter in through one SKU and then also, end up purchasing something else. So recently we had one of our, so we offer managed services. So one of our clients, when we looked at their account, we saw that there was this huge discrepancy. And so we realized that, they had been blocking through negative keywords. They were preventing clicks from one to actually go into the other SKU. But the moment we saw that there was this discrepancy, we actually removed those negative keywords and immediately they saw an improvement in performance. So there's just one of the views that we have pretty handy. So on the fly, it changes all the numbers for all SKU and same SKU. Now, I was talking about aggregations. It's hard to see trends when it's so noisy. So if you want to separate signal from noise, you might want to aggregate by week, or better still, if you have like a really long date range, then you can also aggregate by month. So that gives you like a nice clean curve, and you can see whether it's trending upwards or downwards. And what I mean is that you can change any of these KPIs and you can see that constructed on the fly. So yeah, so those are some of the, the top level things that you see in this dashboard. Pretty much on the left side, like all the different options that we have are consistent across the entire site. So you can basically, access them, and I'll just come to it in a minute. But we also have these, kind of call outs at the top saying, okay, hey, you have new bid recommendations, 103 of them, or hey, there were 7 recent bid changes, or hey, there are so many campaigns or active keywords. So this is like our consolidated dashboard. And you can basically view your account performance easily with this view. Next, we come to the ability to construct your own queries. So initially I had said that this tool is really useful for someone who loves their data. So we allow you to construct your own queries with some very simple parameters. Like you can basically just have less than, greater than, equal to, and text contains kind of patterns, and then you can compare your data and extract segments out of it. So here's an example. So let's say I want to see, all the different keywords. I'm in the keywords view right now. So we actually have a dump of the whole keyword list across all your campaigns and ad groups. But let's say you've put these filters and you say, hey, ACOS above 10%. And then, let's say I want to say clicks greater than 10. So on the fly, it generates that segment. And so now with this segment, you can actually go ahead and do different things with it. Like you can select all of these and do some bulk operations. Like let's say you want to increase the bids up by a certain percentage, or increase the bids up by a dollar value, or similarly for down, or add these as new keywords. So depending on how you construct your query, you can do different things. And all of our views have these bulk operations built into it. So it's easy to do a lot of manual stuff that is super hard to do with Seller Central or with Advertising Console because data is so fragmented there. So I just covered bulk operations, but just to give you another example, like in campaigns, you can also look for campaigns that are above a certain ACoS, and you can pause them, archive them, do a lot of those things. When we talk about bulk operations, the image that comes to mind is of a CSV download and then upload, like the operation that Amazon actually requires if you have to interact with the Seller Central UI. But you don't need to do that anymore because our bulk operations, do a lot of that stuff automatically, because ultimately in the Excel that you download, you would be setting filters and creating segments and doing something with them. So we have kind of built that into our UI, and we're continuing to improve this and provide more tools around this. Okay, so number 4, check your keyword bids against Amazon recommended bid range. Now, Amazon recommended bid range is something that you see when you're setting up a campaign, and when you have just added a few keywords, you'll see that Amazon has a bid range. Now, this bid range changes every day, and it is based on all the other players in the marketplace. So they have access to way more data than we have. So even though we come up with a certain bid value based on how we would like to pay for a bid, but Amazon's bid range actually gives you way more information about whether that bid is actually going to work or not. Let me show you how this can be useful. So again, I'm in the same keywords view, and we have our bid values right here. Now, if you look closely, there's Amazon's bid range, which is saying that this keyword is actually going at this rate, between 80 cents and $1.36. Now, my bid is clearly below this, and so the likelihood of getting impressions is reduced. We don't tend to look at our bid values in comparison to our bid ranges, Amazon's bid ranges on a regular basis, but we've built that right into the keywords view. And we also have a handy way of saying, okay, just show me all the bid values where I'm below Amazon's bid range. So if I do that, then it's only going to show me the ones that are below the range, and then I can, again, do some bulk operations and maybe increase that bid value to whatever it is that you want to, to be within that range. So that's a super helpful feature. We also provide this in our bid recommendations. So when you're actually making a change, you are aware of what the asking rate of that keyword is on a certain date. By the way, this number changes daily. Amazon publishes this number daily, so we have made it available in our view. Okay. So the next use case is finding ASINs to target with product targeting ads. Now, product targeting ads, not everyone is using them yet because it is fairly new. It was just released, I think, earlier this year. So finding ASINs to target, one easy way of finding ASINs is, of course, you can do your research and, find your competitors and collect those B0 starting ASIN numbers and just create product targeting ads. Or you could do, you could use PPC Ninja for finding or discovering those from your own other campaigns. So for example, here in the targeting report, I have set my search expression to category, which means that I was running a category targeting ad, and it has given me a bunch of different ASINs that actually led to clicks and perhaps even sales for my product. So what I'll do is I will just export this and create a new product targeting ad based on this data that I already have. This is super hard to do with, you have to collate lots of different reports and put them together, but we've kind of made it very easy for you to be able to do these sorts of things right from within the UI. You can also use like auto-targeting campaigns to generate, to find these ASINs. And again, we cover those like, the new auto-targeting campaigns have close match, loose match, substitutes, and complements as their targeting groups. You can always set our expression, like I just showed you, we can set that expression to substitutes or complements, because those are the two that will give you most of the ASINs that are converting for your products. So yeah, so those are some of the ways in which to take advantage of these new types of ads that have come out. Then another use case is altering your placement bid modifiers and the dynamic bidding strategies in a single view. So I'm going to show you that here. So this obviously is related to campaigns, right? Because these strategies are set at the campaign level. So here I have like all my campaigns, and I'm saying, okay, in the bidding strategies, I want to just look at all the campaigns that have the fixed bid strategy. And let's say I want to, change that strategy if my ACOS is above a certain value. So let's say these high ACOS campaigns, I want to change this from fixed bid to dynamic down, because fixed will keep spending more and more money, whereas dynamic down will, adjust it dynamically based on whether Amazon thinks there's a likelihood, of a conversion. So you can do those changes here in the campaigns view. You can also change your top of search or product pages percentages as well, right here. So those are, easy way to cut across the noise of like and fragmented data that you see in Campaign Manager on the Seller Central UI. Okay, next, managing negative keywords. Now, negative keywords are super, super important, we think. Amazon separates negative keywords at two levels. They provide negative keywording at the campaign level and then also at the ad group level. And so in our UI, we have actually provided these as two separate views. We give you the list of all your negative keywords at both these levels. In addition, you can also add more keywords from those views. You can also use your search term view within PPC Ninja to identify these negative keywords and add them using one of our bulk operations. So let me show you what that looks like. So right here, we have add group negative keywords. And like you can see, there's an option to add your negative keywords right here. Okay, number 8, discovering new keywords. So we have created like a weekly recommendation for keywords, new keywords, based on a basic simple rule, which is that if you had more than 5 sales over the past 90 days for a keyword, and the ACOS was within your target ACOS, then that's a good keyword, and you should be adding that to one of your campaigns. Now, this you can do on your own as well. Like if you look at your search term report, you can find it. However, what we do additionally for you is to rule out the possibility of that new keyword being in any other campaign or any other ad group, which is super hard to, assess, like just by looking at the keyword. You don't remember, oh, is this keyword covered somewhere or not? So we do that check for you so that you don't have to do it. And we basically present you these keyword recommendations on a weekly basis. So let's say in this case, in the example, last Thursday, October 31st, we found some keywords that met the criteria. Now, although we have set a criteria of 5 orders minimum, if you think you would like to find these keywords based on fewer, a lower threshold, let's say, even if you had like 2 orders from a keyword, you would like it to be considered for a new keyword, then you can always do that segmentation and analysis within the search term report view. So again, we provide both these options. You can do it yourself, or you could do the pre-curated views that we create. All right, so the next one is manage zero impression keywords. Now, we've written a blog post about this, but we think that, there is a large part of your ad group, your keywords in an ad group, they go without impressions at all. And we have a full blog post, and I can just show you. It's this one on our website. If you just search for ppcninja.com and look for this blog post, you will see how we describe the process of what we think is happening with these zero impression keywords and how they deserve their own space in terms of a new campaign. So we make it super easy for you to move your zero impression keywords to new campaigns. So let me show you what I mean by that. So here in my zero impression keywords view, I have all these keywords that did not get any impressions over the past 90 days, for example. So we allow this to be, you can just create these as new keywords, and you can add them to an existing campaign or to a new campaign. So this way, these keywords that are well-researched keywords actually for you, because you spend a lot of time trying to figure out what these keywords are, but then within the Amazon algorithms, they get lost and they don't get, oftentimes this is because the budget doesn't get distributed across all the keywords in that ad group. And so just giving it its own budget in a different campaign, not an ad group, but at a campaign level, we've tested this and we've seen that like new impressions start to generate for those keywords that were previously neglected. All right, so number 10 is optimize your bids weekly. And also then track bid changes made anywhere. So, what I just showed you was different ways to interact with your own data using PPC Ninja, but we also make it easier for someone who maybe doesn't have the time or doesn't have the skills to do that kind of analysis themselves. We provide a weekly bid recommendations. We send it by email, and then you go to the UI, and it's as simple as accept or reject the bid changes that we recommend, or you could even override the bid recommendations that we provide based on what you think is right. So literally, we're trying to help sellers be more educated about changes that they're making, and not just do it blindly, like just say, okay, this rules engine will take care of it. No, it's not like that. It's always better to know how your keywords are performing, because after all, that is your core competency, right? It is something that can make or break your advertising overall. So we provide this in the form of bid recommendations. So as you can see, the bid recommendations view has, the keyword, the match type, and all the basic data. We tell you exactly what we are suggesting. We're saying suggested, decrease the bid on this keyword from this to this. And then we provide you the Amazon bid range, because this is dynamically changing every single day, right? So when at the point where you're about to change your bid, you have a quick glance over, okay, this makes sense, because you don't want to make your bid so low that it won't show up or not get any impressions. So here's a quick last minute check before you say yes. You can check your bid range. The other thing we provide right here is your bidding strategy that you're using, and that is at a campaign level, right? So you can, if there is let's say a dynamic up and down kind of bidding strategy, it means that your base bid of whatever it is going to become maybe double, or 10 times or 20 times. We recently did a webinar, and we're doing a blog post on how a $1 bid can actually become a $20 bid based on the settings you have here. So quick check on that before you say okay. And then here you can actually go and override this new bid that we're recommending. So let's say if you were to say, yeah, I'm okay with this bid. So you say accept. Or you say, no, I'm not okay with this bid. It's okay. I want to keep my the bid as it is for another week. So I would say rejected. Or if you want to say, no, change this to fall, I don't know, let's say $1 or something like that, you make that change, override it, and then say accept. So these are some of the ways in which you can make changes based on all the data right here before you say yes or no. Now, if you choose, you could also actually do all of this without doing any thinking. Like, let's say your campaigns are super optimized and you don't want to spend so much time going through every row, or you know, you don't want to spend so much time. So you can also do bulk accept and bulk reject. You know, again, this can be done based on the slices you create right here. You can say, okay, only for the keywords that had an ACoS above, let's say 50% or something, then accept all, or then reject all. You can also do, you know, let's say you just want, you just want to, if I could spell, you just want to see the reasons where it's an increase or a decrease. You can do all of that on the fly. So again, our you know, all these views are super interactive, and even till the last moment where you're actually doing your bid recommendations, you can keep researching and figuring out what is the right thing to do. And then, as I mentioned, you can also look at your bid change history. You know, this is super useful because you can see if the change was made, like when it was made, which keyword it was made to, who did it, like was it a user of PPC Ninja, or was it something else like outside PPC Ninja, which means either you made the change on Seller Central, or let's say your VA made a change, or let's say another software that you were using was making the change, or if it was a recommendation from within PPC Ninja. So these are the different categories. And this just helps you correlate your data back. You know, if you changed a bit down, what happens to it, you know, after 2 weeks, or whenever we present the next round. So yeah, so those are like the 10 use cases that I shared. I've just covered the tip of the iceberg. There's more. I encourage you to, you know, try it out. Just to summarize, you know, PPC Ninja, we can look at it as a highly interactive database where you set simple queries and interact with it and change it in ways you like with bulk operations. There's no binding to any specific strategy because PPC strategies are changing all the time. And we've also seen that there is no, you know, guarantee that a strategy that works for one seller will also work for another. So just to give you an example, some people talk about blocking a keyword as a negative keyword the moment you have harvested it from your auto campaigns. Whereas some people say, no, don't do that because, you know, you're getting, you know, you are getting impressions and you are getting placements, or you are getting revenue from the auto campaign. So why block it? So we don't bind you by saying you have to do things in a certain way. It's all your data, and then you can be flexible about it. And then the final thing I want to say is that, you know, our weekly bid recommendations are like a safety net because they prevent you from the risk of full automation. And why I say it's a risk, a full automation is great to save time, and, you know, you set your rules and you're good to go. But not everyone's campaigns are super optimized. And we think that a tool is only as good as the underlying structure or the underlying strategy on which it's based. So if your foundation is not right, your full automation is just going to make it worse and worse and worse, or we don't know how it's going to, you know, turn out. So the safety net is the way for you to do a last minute check before you say accept all or reject all. So you can very well do a full automation with our software. It's just that we let you see it before it goes live versus, you know, in some cases, some tools give you a log, which is after the fact. But before the fact, you can check what recommendations are being given. So there's all these ways to interact with PPC Ninja. One is you can build your own queries, like I explained. Or you know, you could use some of our pre-created query views where we've already put in the criteria, and let's say for example, the 0 impression keywords. You could either find those yourself, or you could use our pre-created views. or you could use our automated recommendations, which we send out on a weekly basis. I've just put Monday here because of Monday. But it starts from the day you joined our service. So a week from then, and on a regular basis, you will get weekly recommendation emails from us to make those changes. And then the other way also to interact with PPC Ninja is through our microservices. And this is a concept where we engage with you on short, flexible engagements for optimizing certain aspects of your PPC. So let's say there is one ASIN that you want to turn around because it's performing badly, or let's say you want to just improve your title or your listing so that it starts to give you results. So these are short and flexible, and in the process we also teach you what we're doing, show you and teach you. So it's more like done with you versus done for you. And so at the end of that, you can then go ahead and either come back to us, hire us for more, or you could just use the strategies for your other ASINs. We also offer PPC audits and PPC strategy sessions so that it goes like a nice combination with the tool, this envelope of services. Finally, we're coming up with a new version, which will, is more, what looks like this somewhat, and it's more task-oriented and action-oriented. And so, yeah, that's all I had for the demo.
Thank you very much for this interesting presentation. And can you reveal, you just mentioned that you will be restructuring your menu on the left side, which will be more maybe understandable or straightforward or more easier to read for the people. Any other features are you planning to release in the next months?
Well, we have a few features that are coming up. So we will be working on providing support for Advertising Console, which is previously AMS. And we're also going to be expanding from our current marketplaces to other marketplaces like Australia. So those are upcoming.
Perfect. And can you tell us the pricing? How is it based? Is it percentage or on the number of revenue?
Yes, yeah, it is. Our pricing is based on number of SKUs. Yeah, so this is, these are our pricing plans. So we have the basic, which is for less than 20 advertised ASINs. Then we have the standard, which is up to 500 advertising ASINs. And then the pro, which is up to 1,000 advertised ASINs. We also have an agency plan, which is really a good deal because it doesn't charge you for the number of clients you have, but it's a total of all ASINs across clients. And then you also get like a unified dashboard. And I think, the other thing that I want to mention is that we have an add-on, which is like for every additional region, we charge $50. So by region, I don't mean marketplace, I mean the whole region. So if you started in US, then if you want to add any country or up to 5 countries of Europe, you just pay $50 extra. So that's the pricing model we have.
All right, and I wanted to ask about support. I noticed your websites have Facebook Messenger. Is it the best way to contact support, or what is your support policy? How fast do you respond?
Yeah, you can interact with us in many ways. So of course we have the messenger on our website. You can also email us at support@ppcninja.com. Also feel free to message us on any of the social media platforms like LinkedIn, Facebook, anywhere. We tend to respond within 1 business day.
And final question, do you have any offer for Demo Mondays viewers?
Yes, absolutely. So we'll be offering 20% off the first month's subscription, and Augustus will have the link for that.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Ritu, and good luck in your business. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.